what is the difference between? Now, I'm not saying he's as good as this guy. I'm not saying he's nearly as good or will be as good as this guy.
Sure.
But what is the difference between the background stories of how where they are to where they were to where they are now? I mean, when they started in the league, of Zach Edey and Tim Duncan.
Ooh.
What's the difference?
Ooh. I mean, no, there's none.
Both of them were dudes that you look at them like, dude, how did you just start playing basketball? Like you're 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And both of them were playing some other sport. Tim Duncan was a swimmer. Zach Edey was playing baseball. They both started playing basketball right before they got to college, and they became the best players in college basketball in 4 years. After just learning to play the game, they dominated the sport after 4 years. The only reason why Zach Edey played college basketball for 4 years because he just started playing basketball in high school.
5 years ago. Yeah.
5 years ago. Exactly. He just picked up a basketball for the first time 5 years ago. If he played AAU and played as a kid and played middle school, all that, he would have been a one-and-done, 7'5" big man, just like a Donovan Clingan type guy. He would have been a one-and-done, two-and-done max type guy, just like Donovan Clingan. And the only thing that kept him in the game 4 years because he was learning on the job.
Yeah.
And he's clearly a project. And whatever you've asked him to do, he's been able to do it. We're seeing this dude shoot three-pointers and all these type of things. How do we know that he's not this phenom stuck in a body that he was never supposed to play in a sport he never was supposed to have been playing, which is baseball? How do we know? How do we know that he's not a basketball phenom? Because everything we've seen from him suggests that he's a guy that's on the path to be great. 2-time National Player of the Year. And there are people who are saying, well, 4-year players don't do this. There are so many outliers in this situation because the kid just started playing basketball. That kid has been playing AAU all his whole life, playing for Pee Wee teams, and now he's a 4-year player in college. No, this kid just started playing basketball 5-6 years ago. Yeah. How do we know that we don't have a special player in our hands in Zach Edey? And that's where I am with him. When I finally stopped listening to these nerds, stopped listening to these people who had all these weird agendas of why, because I don't watch college basketball. I knew who Zach Edey was, but last time I saw him, he was sorry. That was his freshman year. I saw him, but I thought he was the same dude. And when I saw, crap, this dude's 2-time player of the year, let me just go watch this dude and stop listening to these geeks. And when I did that, I was like, okay, bro, that dude's going to be incredible in the NBA. And I think that's what he's going to be. So where are you at on Edey, man?
Yeah, that's a great comparison. I have not thought about the Tim Duncan likeness, but that makes sense. There's not. I mean, like 5-6 years ago, like that's it. He was a baseball player, wanting to be a pitcher with an 85-mile-an-hour fastball. He ain't going nowhere. They give him a basketball, and of the 5-6 years he's been playing organized basketball, he has been the Naismith Player of the Year in 2 of them. In a NCAA that included Donovan Clingan, that included some of the Reed Shepard, some of these other cats that are now in the NBA. And so
he was scoring almost 30 points a game in college, bro.
Listen, I'll be honest. I was in the doldrums. I wanted Clingan bad on draft night. It's not like the Grizz did too. We tried to move up, as what the rumor was. I wanted Clingan. I drank the Kool-Aid. We drafted Zach Edey. I was a little upset, and I said, you know what? Tonight I'm not happy, but tomorrow he wears my laundry, and I'll root for him. And so ever since then,
I started doing my homework about a month before the draft. I said, oh yeah, I'm in on this. I started coming around. I was like, I want him, but not at 9, you know. So,
and then not only that, like he averaged 30 points a game in college, playing in the Big Ten, which is a good basketball conference. He's played with a superstar before in Jaden Ivey, who was a superstar at Purdue when he was there. And then he played an NBA center in his first game and gave him business. Like he made Walker Kessler like a fool a few times.
Like he held his own. Looked like he was the rookie.
That's it. He put up 15 and 14 on Kessler, a NBA 3-year center, and looked the part. Now, again, the ankle kind of rolled a couple times. You know, he played more than he probably should have, but like what we saw, the sample size we saw was good. And I have come full circle on Zach Edey again. On draft night, I was out. Yeah. I couldn't be more all in on him. I put money on him as the NBA Rookie of the Year. Like, I think he could be that missing piece. He does all the things that Steven Adams did really, really well. And the last time we had Steven Adams healthy and playing well, Jaren Jackson Jr. was the Defensive Player of the Year. Because what he can do is he can anchor the middle of that defense and let Jaren be the ball hawk that he's supposed to be. And that's going to make both of them better. But like, I know it's just like they're not going to put their misses on Instagram, but watching the pick and roll and the pick and follow and the pick and pop with him and Ja.
In fact, that film exists, man. It's incredible.
They're in the lab working already, man. And so I'm all in on Edey, man. I think he's our starter. I think you and I were on a Twitter exchange about this like a month ago with some guy with some knuckleheads. But like our centers only play like 20 minutes a game anyway, because we get BC running late. We run those small ball lineups where you have Jaren at the 4, BC at the 5, and about 4 years ago, our best closing lineup at 3-4-5 was Santi, Jaren, and BC. We're going to see that quite a bit this fall. And so Edey will play in the games where he needs to, and there's going to be some games where he's going to dominate some smaller centers. Then there's going to be some games where we pull him out, we run that small ball lineup, we run people out of the gym. He just makes us so much more well-rounded and versatile. Absolutely, man. And if he can develop a three-point shot, ooh, good Lord.
Man, because I'm going to tell you something else about Edey that a lot of people aren't even talking about. Edey was getting double, triple teams totally focusing on him in college on their way, right?
Yeah.
Teams are not gonna. You can't double team anybody in today's NBA.
No,
you put that in the pick and roll and you don't double the man. Come on,
yeah, man. And like, I mean, he still averaged 30 points a game, getting double and triple team. And some of those guys will be playing at LA Fitness or selling State Farm, sure. But you got 3 dudes guarding you, and you still putting up 30.
You can't guard him like that in the NBA.
I'm in, man. I'm in.
It's too much going on. You can't guard him like that. And people say, well, he'll get played off the court. If he's a guy that can score points on the other end, you're not gonna play him off the court. I never saw Shaq get played off the court, bro. You know what I mean? Like
that's it, man. And just because the other teams like to,
you don't see Jokic get played off the court because he scores. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. And just because the other teams like to run doesn't mean like we can slow it down on our end and just get buckets and wear you out till you can't run anymore.
Right.
We were one of the worst teams in half court offense over the last couple of years. He's only going to make us better in half court offense with his skill set and his size, man. Get out of here, man. I'm all in on Zach Edey.
Yeah, and then you got coaches who are they've got a super smart group of assistant coaches, like masterminds they brought in. And I'm sure that when they get into their training, get into their brainstorming rooms and they figure out strategies, I'm sure they're gonna cook up some marvelous shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, man. And like I give TJ credit, man, because like he's a defensive coach and that's what he does really well. And he got his staff right. He got the guys around him that can help him put those offensive plays together that are only going to make us better. So I give him credit as well for him or Climate, whoever made that decision. They got some of the best offensive schemers in the game. And you give them a toy like John Morant, like Jaren, and like Edey. I mean, I think we're going to put folks on notice real quick.
Yeah, I totally agree.